Hello everyone and good morning. Hope everyone's safe and healthy. Thanks for stopping in, scrolling into the Maniacal S10 channel. The owner, Mike, which is me, and thanks once again for tuning in, checking in, see what's going on. This morning we're doing the DIY front end alignment on my 010 Aveo. Now the information I have here, as you can see, and then this one here. Hopefully get it focused for y'all. And one more time here. Okay, let's head out to the garage and the shop and let's get this show on the road. Okay, now we're out in the shop. Okay, a little bit of an update. I changed out my vise. More of a heavy duty one. Got it for a good price, my buddy of mine. 20 bucks. That vise is older than I am, but it works good. Actually, probably works better than I do. And for the welding part of this, I've added my ground strapping, so whatever I put into the vise, it's grounded without having to worry about trying to figure out a ground to it. Okay, back to the front end alignment parts, accessories, and doing it. Okay. This one is the OEM outer tie rod end. And once they get this way, and this loose, it is wore out. It's on the verge of coming apart. Not good. Just accident waiting to happen. Hopefully not. And here's the new one. Most of the front end alignment I've already done up. I'm just doing this to finish up so I can get my car back on the road. And this is already preset, so I'm not going to be moving it too hard to get it to do anything. But this is the new one. This is the eBay outer ball joint. And don't move, it is tight. So there you are. Bad, period. And of course the new one. Okay, now here we go to put it on and be right back with you. Okay, here we're out in the garage. There's my S10. Sorry about that. It's out there, as you can barely see it out there in the driveway. Here's the 010 Aveo. I've done 90% of the front end job on this ready. Just doing a video so I can get her back on the road. So here it is. Here's the tools that you'll need, or that I needed, and as the air compressor to do it with. So here we are. Air hammer and the tie rod end fork that goes to it. You'd use that. The fork, pickle fork as a lot of guys call it. There's my 1/8 inch or 125 thousandths gauge to set my toe in, toe out. Just part of the bed frame, but it's 1/8 inch. That's my gauge. And the tie rod's going on it, back on it I should say. And for the inner tie rod to make the adjustment, 6 or 12.12 millimeter. And for the tie rod in nut, and size is, I get the focus, 19 millimeter. Yeah, it's a cut off 1/2 inch drive ratchet. Got it at the flea market. Treasure Isle, $4. Worked perfect. And then here is to get it started for the tie rod end nut, the 19 inch 12-point wrench. And then the 17 to hold on to the jam nut, to set it, to lock it in. And the lead hammer, so I can get knock at the tie rod in knuckle out further, take the nut off so I don't do any damage. And a worst case scenario, Big Mo, the 3-pound mini sledgehammer. In case I needed it. And as of yesterday, Edgewater Swap Meet picked up this really nice, almost new rapid floor jack. Works great. I picked it up for incredibly $5. So yeah, that's a nice addition to the garage. And about the same color the Monaco S10 is. So I want to get started to get this put on, and here we go. So give me a second. Now for the intertie rod end, this is it. This part here is a 12mm for the adjustable backing in and out to adjust the toe in and toe out. And here's the jam nut. You only back it off a thread, two threads tops. Don't move it any further. It'll help you keep your alignment intact, so you can reset it if necessary. So once you back that off, don't move it. So here we go to put the new one back on. As I said, I've already done all this prior. I just took this one back apart to show you how I do it. It's all DIY. And you just going to snug it up. Even though, as you see, it's not going to line up or fit, don't move this. Turn it to there, and she'll go back in. Take the nut off, and here we go. And she's in. Just like the doctor ordered. Now we're safe with it. And here we go with doing this to tighten her back up. And that cut-off ratchet worked really good in this tight spot. Okay. Now from the 19mm socket to the wrench. And here's what I do. With my lead hammer. That way nothing gets damaged except the hammer. And we're not worried about the lead. And we tap her on. Trying to do all this one-handed makes it a bit difficult and a challenge. Give me just a second and we'll get ready to finish it up on this torque wrench. Be right back. Excuse the background noise and a cat probably. Here we go at 50 pound of torque. She's at 55 now. It'll be good. You take a lead hammer and tap this on and still come out to stop at 50 pounds of torque. That is excellent. Okay, now for the jam nut. And for my 17mm. Try this where you can see it, me doing it too. Okay. Now the tie rod end can't turn. I'm just going to jam the nut hand tight to the tie rod end. And there we have it. That's it. That's all it takes. Tie rod end on, done, and complete. Give me just a second, I'll be right back. Okay. And just going through the motion with the, as they call it, pickle fork. I still call it tie rod end fork. With the old one still on, but this is the new one. I'm just showing you this. This is how you do it, or with the air hammer. Whichever way works best for you. The nut off, drive this in there, and with the wedge up, it'll force it down, and it comes off. If I take a couple of good hard whacks, she'll do it, or the air hammer just brrr, and always have ear protection, eye protection on. SAE work. Okay, if we drop that pickle fork, it'll ping like a tuning fork. So now we're going to go under the car to show you a little more of what I have done in the procedure. Okay, here we go. Oh, all right. And as you can see, and it's a bit jobbled under here, it's tight. I don't have a rack. And I get under far enough to get to the actual spot. There's with driver's side new one on and finished. As you can see, a half nut on the tie rod end. Inner tie rod end. And the nut for the tie rod, inner tie rod, and the threads, jam nut. I haven't done inner tie rod ends just yet. That'll be a later date, but they will be done. I'm doing all this PMing. Preventive maintenance, we just call it PM or PMing. Preventative maintenance. So back to the passenger side, and with the light. Okay. So I'm about jumping around, but I'm on my back out of the car doing this one-handed. And to get the light a little better. There's a good focus. And here you are. Now the jam nut don't need to be torqued on, but I snug it. It's just a jam nut. Air tie rod in, the threads, and the outer. Okay, give me a second and I'll show you some more. Okay, here we are looking at the steering wheel on the Aveo and adjustment angle gauge. Now here's the way this works. Already been pre-done. I'm just doing this to show you the motion and some of the procedure. I got it set at 0 degrees, which would be straight up and down. If the steering wheel was turned that way, it would be that way. I'm just not going to move it because it's already been done. But you want it with not the 3 o'clock arrow, but the 6 o'clock arrow. And with the white line on the gauge, line up where that 6 o'clock arrow is, or pointer, at 0 degrees straight up. That means your front end is in line by the steering wheel. You line the tires toe in, toe out from underneath at the inner tie rod end at the jam nut. But you don't do the jam nut till you're finished. That's how I do my DIY. Just imagine the steering wheel being turned straight, and then this would actually be going, and to hold it for you, that's the way it would look. With the steering wheel perfectly straight, level, at 0 degrees. And you can see the gap. I've already done it. That's how I do it. Okay. Onward. We're going to go outside. I'm going to show you what I use to actually do the lineup with. Okay, here we're on the outside of the garage. And there's a maniacal one. Okay. Now, Here's what I used to do my toe in, toe out. It's angle iron. It's full of holes. This I found on the side of the road across from where I live at. I found 2 of them. Truck dropped them off, lost them, so I picked them up and it worked out perfectly. And here's the way it goes this way. And just so happens, for my car, a 120-inch wheelbase worked out perfect. 120 inches long. Worked out, as I said, perfect for my toe in, toe out gauge. There you have it. So give me a second or two. I'm going to get this to the other side of the car and show you the motion on this. Okay, we're back. And as you can see, jack stands can't be too safe. And all 4 wheels here shortly will be on 4x6 blocks. And the jack stand there. And there's the setup. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now, as you can see, hopefully, oops, wrong side. Let's go back to the driver's side. I have the block under the tire, and I'm going to put this, I'm not sure what material you call this, but this is the smooth side, and this is what I call the textured or gritty side. Now, I put the gritty side to the tire, smooth side to that block of wood, just like on the driver's side's done. And here we go with the passenger side. Give me a minute. And here we go with this. Textured or gritty side up and onto the block. Now I'll let the car down on it. That way, let me get this back out here a minute. I'll show you something. That way, smooth side of this board, smooth side of the 4x6, it gives it this motion. That way, the wheels turn to align it a lot easier. So here we go back in. And there we go. Oops. A little bit more of a fine tune here. And there we go. Give me a second and I'll set her down. Alright, he's on all 4 now. Passenger side is tires all back on, tightened down, and here's my alignment angle iron. Here's how you want this set up. Or anything that you got 120 inches of that's straight, gun barrel straight, you can line this up with this way. Or chalk line, string, twine, rope, whatever you got to use to make it work. And I had enough 4x6 blocks to do all this. Okay, and the driver's side is the same. Okay, now once I set her down, I bounced her a little bit just to get her to settle, and she's down. Now, for the gauge I showed you earlier, this part of my bed frame, well, she's 125 thou or 1/8 inch. You want an 1/8 inch toe in, help keep your vehicle going straight, as long as everything else works. And just an example, here's how this goes. In between. Let me get a better light here for you. Give me a sec. Okay. You want this to fit just snug like it's a glorified feeler gauge, what a setup is. You want just a snug 1/8 inch in between. Steering wheel's off just the way it is because I set it that way so I could show you this on a video, but prior to this I had all done and it was a perfect fit. So that's how you do it. Snug fit, 1/8 inch tire to your gauge. And that'll give you a good front end alignment, as long as everything else is good and tight. Okay? So give me a second, I'll set her all on the ground. Okay, here we are, the Avail, going down a dead-end street long enough to find out if I need any tweaking or not on the front end alignment. course, as you know, there's a little bit of doing this, going down the road to keep her straight. But overall, she's doing doggone good. This will do you till you can get to a Midas or whoever you want to do a expert front alignment by electronics to do it. I just prefer doing it this way. There was second shift. I just dumped the clutch on second. Look at this. Perfect. Good enough for me. And of course the mileage is, and going strong. Everything's going really good. We'll turn around and do one more check, so bear with me. And here we are once again. Look at this. Is this nice or what? So we're going to head back to the house, to the Maniacal S10 garage, and get ready to clean up and to do the next project or job and go to work. So there you have it. Can't beat it. Even with power braking a bit on a stick shift, and she's not moving. So I'm happy, very happy with it. So stay safe, stay dirty, be safe, extra safe. All precautionary measures when working on your vehicles: gloves, face mask, goggles, ear protection, jack stands, whatever else you will need. Also, we ended up finding a pair of stainless steel ringed gloves for grinding and other purposes to keep my hands safe, but never with a drill. Okay, so like and subscribe and give me thumbs up, and catch up to me later. All right, have a great one. Stay safe. Bye.